Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, in case you didn't know, we are in writing week. I think you figured it out, though. With that being said, does Samantha Bennett tolerate you coming to class without your essays? No, I don't want you to come to my class without your essays, so don't come to your class. Friendly reminder, the more we get done in class, the less you do at home. Can we agree? Okay, so every single day you will have essays. The faster we get planning done in class, the better your quality of life is. And that is always the goal. Okay, so you should have 5 pieces of paper in front of you. AP Comparative Exam Explained, Concept Application, Comparative Analysis, Argument Analysis, and Quantitative. Those are the 5 papers that you should have. Plus, you should have a couple blank sheets. If you don't have some of these, you need to figure it out. Okay. Let's talk homework to make sure everyone is clear. I am not doing any quantitative today because I don't think I have the brain cells for it. You know how hard it is for me. I am not doing argument because I just don't want to write an LEQ. Okay, for your homework tonight, you are writing number 1 and number 2 of your comparative essays. You are doing number 1 and number 2 of your comparative essays. 1 and 2. Your other 2 essays are coming from concept. And to make your life easier, I made it number 1 and number 2. Isn't that nice? So, when you look on my board, ladies and gentlemen, I'll always tell you what type of essay it is. Concept, concept. Number 1 and number 2. Just a friendly reminder of how we do this. Friendly reminder, on every essay we write, we always write concept number 1, concept number 2, comparative number 1, comparative number 2. Okay. Everyone is clear on what their homework is. You have 4 essays due. I'm hopefully going to plan out 2, probably write out maybe 2.5. 1.5. Does that sound good? Whew, bless me. Okay, so let's talk comparative exam explained. Your test day is Wednesday, May 8th, 2024. Of course, I changed the date but didn't change the year, so everything sucks. It's fine. Okay. This is a Wednesday. It's a noon exam. It's a noon exam. You will come to school by 11 and you will sit outside. Unfortunately, I think it's AP Statistics or something like that. It's a big exam that morning. So you're going to be waiting. But you still need to be here on time and ready to go. As we get closer to May, we'll have much more discussions. If you are double dipping on exams, and this is the only one that really I care about because you have a morning exam and then mine. If you are double dipping with exams, you need to have like a full-on lunch. Like I'm talking like a pub sub. Yeah, have one of your friends, pay your friends to go pick you up a pub sub before they come to school, and you need to sit there and you need to like eat. That is what you need to do in the 15 minutes between, is you just need to shove your face. So if you are ever doing a double duty exam, the major priority between exam 1 and exam 2 is like you need to eat like a real feast. It is the only thing that's going to get you through. And the only reason I care about it is because I'm the afternoon exam on the 8th. So if you are doing AP, I think it's like statistics or it's AP Lit or something. Is it Lit? That's what I thought. Okay. It's a big exam, which a lot of you are in. Raise your hand if you're in Lit. Exactly. So you need to figure out, and it's not a priority right now because it's February 2nd. You don't need to put your lunch orders in now, but it is something that you should keep in mind. The best thing you can do in order to switch from Lit to AP Comp is going to be like a full-on feast of a lunch, like a real lunch. Like don't get a cute little strawberry salad. Like you need some carbs, you need some meats, you need some fats. Like real food here. Anyway, with that being said, this your AP Comp exam is going to be like the fastest exam you've ever taken, not because it's hard, because it's actually fast. Like it is actually very, very fast. It's one of the shortest exams. There's 2 sections, of course. The first one is 55 questions in 60 minutes. That's pretty quick. Keep in mind, AP Gov is 55 questions in 80 minutes. So the questions here are significantly faster. With that being said, I am going to start timing you probably in like 2 or 3 weeks. We're not going to get down. AP World starts timing in January. We can wait a little bit to get you familiar with the questions, and then I'm going to start timing you because we got to get you down and used to moving quickly. That's the only thing. Okay? So, Section 2. You have 4 questions that are worth 50%. Section 1 is 50%. Section 2 is 50%. 4 types of questions. You get concept analysis, quantitative. Okay, both of those are in AP Gov. Then you have comparative questions. Comparative questions because the class is called comparative. So, in AP Gov, you have SCOTUS, Supreme Court of the United States questions. In AP Comparative, you have comparative questions. And then you have your argumentative essays. Same format. Everything is the exact same in the essays, except one's based on SCOTUS, one's based on comparing countries. Okay? As you're going through, you can read the information I have for you about these different essays, but we'll be kind of going through them. Okay? The formatting is faster than AP US Gov by like 45 minutes, I think. Most of it comes from the multiple choice being shaved down, and then I think you get a little bit more time on the writing. Okay? Any questions on formatting here for the essays? For the test, May 8th, it's a noon exam. Most of you are taking AP Lit. This exam is quick. Okay? It is a very fast exam. Last year, I had a 66% pass rate in my first year of teaching. I beat Plant's record by over 26 percentage points. We're going to do better this year because I wanted to die with a 66% pass rate. I was embarrassed. I will not be embarrassed this year. So we are going to get in the 80s. Yes! Because I'm teaching it better, you are learning it better, everything is better. So we're going to get into the 80s. The national pass rate for AP Comp is way lower than US. It is. It's really bad. Apparently I have one of the highest scores ever in Hillsborough County for AP Comp. Isn't that sad? That's sad. That's sad. Anyway, moving forward. All right, which one do you want to work on? What do you want to do, comparative or concept? All right, you want 1 or 2? Raise your hand if you want 1. Oh, 2 has it. Here we go. All right, on the top of your paper, right, comparative. Number 2. Okay, friendly reminder, just reminding you of the norms of the week. Every essay, every paper you write, whatever the essay title is on the top. On one side, you do the planning. On the other side of the same piece of paper, you write the essay. Here we go. All right. Compare how legislative powers can be independent or constrained by other governmental institutions in 2 different AP comparative government and politics course countries. In your response, you should do the following. A, define legislative independence. Describe how legislative independence is used by governmental institutions in 2 different courses, and explain why 2 AP comparative government courses described in B would choose to constrain. All right, here we go. First of all, we need to make sure we understand. What does independent mean? When we talk about independent, how legislative powers can be independent.
It's separate from the executive branch.
Okay. Legislative is independent, which means it can challenge the other branches. Specifically, which one? Executive. I always think it's helpful when you're doing comparative, what countries have a legislative independency? Which ones are genuinely independent legislatures? Mexico is one, and who's the other one? UK. Okay, so we already know kind of in our minds which countries we can use. Okay, constrained. What does constrained mean? Patrick?
It means it's like limiting legislative powers.
It's limiting legislative powers. Okay? So, and who is putting the pressure? It is done by who, typically? The executive. Okay? So, what countries have a constrained legislative branch? Well, I haven't taught you anything about China, so I wouldn't write a damn thing about China. Nigeria, guys. Nigeria. First of all, I've only taught you 3 countries. So you should probably always have 3 countries down. Yes? All right, here we go. So, A. We've already kind of done that. Legislative independence. Independence. Okay, is going to be challenges. Other branches. Okay, we have already said it's Mexico and UK. Now, what would be an example of either one of those countries and how they do it? Mia.
The UK has their vote of no confidence to oust.
There you go. Vote of no confidence. To out PM. Got it. Okay. B. Describe how legislative independence is used by governmental institutions in 2. Okay? So, I guess, all right, we can, all right, here we go. Because we're going to mention that legislative independence is in Mexico and UK, that's enough that's enough there. We can just do it here. Legislative independence. So, in the UK, we can say a vote of no confidence. By House of Commons can oust a prime minister. Perfect. Great answer. Okay. What is something that Mexico can do? Come on now. Come on now. Amia's already given me an answer. Tatum. Impeach. Oh, so frame it out. Mexico can what? Frame it out, girl.
Oh, sorry. They can vote.
Who can?
Chamber of Deputies.
No. They have the same system as we have.
Oh, the Senate.
Yeah, the Senate. Mexico Senate can impeach a president. There you go. See. Explain why each of the 2 AP comparative government and politics courses countries describe in B would choose to constrain legislative. So both constrain. Okay, so UK. Why would they constrain legislative powers? Already talked to Mia. Ellie. Huh? Ooh, how are you going to argue it? Yeah, but you're not saying anything specific, my love. Sorry. What do you got, Oliver? Are we going to allow Mia to carry us on her back the whole way up the hill? The whole group is shaking their head in agreement. Leo, enthusiastically in front of you, Mia. What do you got?
Well, I was going to go off what Ellie said. Like, you could use, like, the Magna Carta as, like, an evidence for it. So it's, like, the king, they've, like, been trying to limit the power of the king.
Hold on. Constrain legislative powers. Can someone open the door?
Limit legislative powers,
Yeah.
not how the legislative is limited.
Yeah. Guys, how is some way they've taken power away from the legislature? Guys, open up your stuff. And can you throw this away? Actually, I really don't care. No offense. You're kind of there, but you're not there. What do you got, Leo? Okay, what you're saying is correct, Leo. But you just said upper house to me. You gotta use your vocab, man. Okay, like what?
Like, they can't stop notification.
Okay. Unfortunately, I need another vocab in there. Open up your notes and help out Leo. Leo is right there, but if you don't have the vocab to support it, no offense, Leo, we can't do it. Oliver?
Since the government and the judiciaries, they can.
No, that has nothing to do with constraining legislative powers. Colin? Wait. What? No. Parliamentary acts? Of what year? Yeah, it is 19 something. Open up your notes. If you're just sitting there not looking at your notes because you don't feel like getting it out of your bag, imagine how much fun this is going to be while you're sitting there by yourself doing it. 1911. What does it actually do, Jade? No, they don't. Not in 1911. Ellie? No, de-evolution doesn't work. Oh my, Woski Bobrovsky. Eve.
It's like that they like can't they can't in the House of Lords be there just directly like from the
There you go. Whew, that was painful. In the UK. House of Lords. Loses seats due to, what is it called? What are they called? People who get to be there because of birthright. Hereditary. House of Lords loses seats due to limiting of hereditary seats to create what new seats? To create what? Sure, but what are they called? What is it? Life peers. Guys, you got to know your vocab because Leo has been on it, and you are on it, Leo. You had the answer before everyone else. But if you don't have the vocab to match, I can't yell, yes! And that's what I like to yell. Okay? You have to have the vocab. So, the House of Lords loses seats due to limiting of hereditary seats to create life peers. Parentheses, merit-based. Okay. Perfect. All right. Let's talk Mexico. What is one way that Mexico constrains legislative power? Stop it. I'm not talking to you anymore, Mia. Andrew. That's a good one. Creation of term limits. Now, Andrew, why are there term limits? Created to stop corruption of representatives okay. We need a little bit more information here. What can we say about creation of term limits? What would be maybe an example, because we're in the legislative house? Like, for instance, we could use a chamber and say they are only in there for this long. That would be a lovely piece of specific information. Megan?
The Chamber of Deputies have a 4-year term.
Chamber of Deputies have a 4-year term?
3-year term, 4-term limit.
3-year term and 4-term limit. Perfect. Done. Okay, do you see how we're using our information here? We're saying things and then we're proving it with specific vocab. All right, let's write the essay. Flip it over. Let's go. At the top of the paper, right? Comparative to. Okay, A. Let me look at my prompt. Legislative. Independent. Is when the legislative branch has the authority and power to challenge other branches of government. Legislative independence is found in Mexico and the UK. Done. B. Describe how legislative independence is used by governmental institutions in 2 different AP. Okay, here we go. Legislative independence is seen in the UK with the House of Commons ability to vote a quote vote of no confidence. Yeah, that's not my best, but here we go. A vote of no confidence, end quote, against a prime minister in order to remove them from power. Period. Mexico's Senate has the authority to impeach the president with a majority vote in the chamber. Nice. Fancy that one up a little bit. Done. All right. B is done. Let's go to C. Explain each of the 2 AP politics courses described would choose to constrain legislative powers. C. The UK would choose to constrain legislative powers in order to achieve a more merit-based system. Period. The UK the UK's Parliamentary Acts will reduce the House of Lords hereditary seats to create a merit-based, quote, life peers. Can someone grab that for me? Life peers. In order to reflect on a, Ryan, you're signing out. Reflect on a modern society. Period. Done. Okay. Mexico would choose to constrain legislative powers in order to curb corruption. Period. Mexico implemented term limits like that of the Chamber of Deputies, who serve 3 years with a limit of 4 terms. There you go. Not too bad, right? Totally manageable, don't you think? All right, which one do you want to do? You want to do concept?
Yes.
Concept 1 or 2? 2?
Two.
2? Let's do 2. All right, here we go. Ooh, this is a tricky one. Of course, on top, you write whatever essay we're writing. Concept number 2. Okay. Statement A. Government should expand access to education for women and girls. B. Expanding access to education for females increases rates of political participation. C. Advanced liberal democracies tend to have higher rates of female literacy. D. Female access to education is limited worldwide. Identify the statements that describes a correlation. Identify the statement that describes a causal relationship. Explain the difference between a causation and a correlation. Whew! Here we go. I think we should start by defining what is the difference between causation and correlation. This is a tough one. Woski broski. All right, what do we got? What is a causation? Rinkus.
Like an event that directly causes something else.
One thing causes another. So what would be an example? What would be an example of a causation? A simple example, because I think when we're dealing with causation versus correlation, it's important. Chris.
When you shoot a gun, or you put, when you pull
Can
the
we
trigger-
maybe not use a violent example? Like,
Okay. When you let go of a ball in the air, it falls.
okay, drop. Wait, let go of ball,
Yeah.
it falls. Got it. All right, way less violent. All right, what is a correlation? Oliver.
When it's cold outside, people tend to wear, or when winter.
There you go. All right, so something happens. And most people do it. Not all. Okay, so if it's cold, people wear a coat. But you always see the idiots when it's like absolutely freezing outside and there are people in shorts, t-shirts, and flip-flops. It drives me crazy. Up in Massachusetts, which is where I went to school, I mean, there were kids who never wore a coat. Like, ever. Like, it'd be a blizzard outside. No coat. Anyway, here we go. All right. Identify the statement that describes a correlation. So let's do 1. So we're looking for a correlational. So let's look at them. A government should expand access to education for women or girls. Correlation or causation? Okay, so then it's neither. Okay. Expanding access to education for females increases rates of political participation. You think that's correlation? All right, so.
It's not like using the word tend.
Well, let's put some lists down. So B is close. Statement C, advanced liberal democracies tend to have higher rates of female literacy. That's correlation. C. D, female access to education is limited worldwide. I mean, do we like it or no? It's just a statement. Okay, so identify the statement that describes a correlation. Remember, something happens and most people do it. We're between B and C.
I said C.
Correlation.
Okay, so you want to say B is casual?
Yeah.
Casual. C is correlation. Well, that's the next thing. All right, so here we go. Identify the statement that describes a correlation. So, the answer number 1 is C. C is a correlation. Okay. I would then use it to describe. A correlation is something that triggers a response by most, but not all. Perfect. All right. 2. Identify the statement that describes a casual relationship. So, yes, we're going to do B. Is a casual statement. Why is it a casual statement? Why, Colin? It's casual. Yeah, because I copied and pasted it. I don't like retype them or something.
No,
Is
it's
it
causal.
causation?
It's causal. It's, yeah, but that makes more sense.
That does make more sense. Is a causational statement. Okay, all right, that does make more sense. Thank you, Colin. Okay, B is a causational statement, which means what? That one thing causes another. Okay. This is not my favorite. Aren't you glad we're doing it together? Explain the difference between causation and correlation. Okay? So, 3. I would really use the pieces. We've already kind of explained it as we go, and because it's not broken up into sections, we're going to get points for all of that. Does that make sense? Okay, 3 is statement C shows that literacy rates tend or might increase, but not always. Which means that not all people are affected. Period. Statement B shows that by expanding access to women for education, women increase their political engagement. Period. This means more education, is directly tied to political engagement, to political participation. There you go. I pretty much wrote out your last one. Are you happy?
Yeah.
All right, goodbye.
So should we have 3 paragraphs?
3, I would separate them out, yeah. Just like the last one.
Yeah.
You're just not numbering them. Or you could, because they're kind of a little bit weirder. Bye, guys. Have a good day. Have a good weekend. Please leave.